Welcome back to the F1 Blog's YouTube channel for another deep dive, into the world of Formula One. Today, we're looking at Lewis Hamilton's, shocking move to Ferrari for the 2025 season.
Huge.
It's big news.
Yeah.
We've got articles and insider info.
Lots to talk about.
So let's try to break it down and figure out what it all means.
Yeah, definitely.
For Hamilton, for Ferrari, and for the future of the sport as a whole.
It's the kind of move that, it just sends ripples through the entire paddock.
For sure.
A 7-time world champion.
Unprecedented.
In the,
legendary.
The iconic red of Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's box office.
It is. And our sources are saying that Ferrari is taking a very interesting approach to this.
Oh, really? How so?
Sort of a no media circus approach.
Really?
It's almost like they're trying to sneak him in under the radar.
Wow, that's interesting.
Very different.
Yeah, it really suggests that they're prioritizing getting Hamilton settled in and up to speed, rather than, creating this big spectacle. We know he's going to be testing a 2023 SF23 sometime in January to get familiar with the car, but
that makes sense. Even
the date and location of that test are being kept secret.
It's all very hush-hush.
Wow.
I mean, does this quiet approach, you think, signal a shift in Ferrari's typically flamboyant style? Or is it just strategic under Fred Vasseur's leadership?
I think, Vasseur has a very measured and calculated approach.
Yeah, he does.
He's not one for, big gestures or impulsive decisions.
You're right.
So instead, he seems to be focusing on integrating Hamilton into Ferrari's existing structure.
Right.
Rather than building everything around him.
Yeah.
And, remember, Ferrari has been doing quite well under Vasseur. So
they have.
Yeah, there's a sense of, let's not fix what isn't broken.
Don't start from scratch.
Exactly.
But can we talk about Hamilton's performance in 2024 for a second?
Sure.
I mean, it wasn't his strongest season, and some people are wondering if he's maybe, past his prime.
I mean, there were definitely some struggles.
For sure.
Particularly in qualifying.
Yeah.
But, Vasseur himself has said that he's not concerned.
Interesting.
He pointed to those incredible charges through the field that Hamilton pulled off.
Oh, yeah.
In Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi.
Amazing.
As evidence of his, raw pace and racecraft.
He was electrifying.
Exactly.
In those races.
Yeah.
It almost makes you wonder, if it was more about the Mercedes car holding him back than anything else.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Can Ferrari give him a car that consistently allows him to fight at the front?
Right.
A car that suits his specific driving style. That sharp, rapid turn-in that he's known for.
Yeah.
That's what we'll all be watching for in 2025.
I can't wait.
Me neither.
Speaking of things we'll be watching for, what about the LeClerc-Hamilton dynamic?
Oh, man.
That's going to be one of the most anticipated teammate pairings.
For sure.
In F1 history.
It's a clash of generations, really.
It is.
You've got the young, fiery Leclerc, who's been dubbed the future of Ferrari.
Right.
And then you have Hamilton,
the
7-time champion, coming in with all his experience and accolades.
Oh, so how do you see that playing out?
I don't know.
Is this going to be a recipe for fireworks and team orders?
Yeah.
Or can they find a way to coexist and push each other to be even better?
Well, Vasseur has been pretty clear that he wants healthy competition.
Okay.
He sees both drivers as mature professionals who can learn from each other.
Right.
He's even said that they have a good relationship off track.
Okay, that's good.
Which is a good starting point.
So maybe not a Senna-Prost level rivalry.
Hopefully not.
But still, there's bound to be tension.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if they're both battling for the championship.
Absolutely.
That's when things could get really interesting.
The pressure cooker environment at Ferrari.
Oh, yeah.
The intense scrutiny from the Tifosi.
Right.
And the Italian media. All of that is going to amplify any friction between them.
Yeah, you're right.
It'll be fascinating to see how they navigate that pressure.
Definitely.
And how Vasseur manages the dynamic between them.
It's going to be must-watch TV.
For sure.
But before we move on, I have to ask about the language barrier.
Okay.
Hamilton is moving to an Italian team.
Right.
Is that going to be a problem?
That's a good question.
It's a big change.
But Vasseur has downplayed it.
Okay.
Saying that Ferrari operates primarily in English.
Okay.
Within the F1 team.
Right.
And he's right.
Makes sense.
Formula One is a global sport, and English is the common language.
So is Hamilton learning Italian just for fun then?
Well, it's certainly a sign of respect.
Yeah.
For the team and its heritage.
Sure.
It also can't hurt when it comes to building rapport with the mechanics and engineers in Maranello.
Of course not.
But it's probably more about cultural integration than anything else.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it seems like a lot of the potential hurdles we've talked about are more perception than reality.
And based on what Vasseur has said, even convincing Hamilton to leave Mercedes wasn't a difficult task.
Really?
Yeah.
I would thought it would take some serious persuasion.
I know, me too.
To get him to leave the team that he's achieved so much with.
Right.
So what was the deciding factor then?
Well, Ferrari's win in 2023 compared to Mercedes' winless season probably played a role.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's a pretty clear indicator of which team is on the rise.
Ouch. I know, right?
That's got a sting for Mercedes.
It does a little bit, yeah.
But more than that, it seems like Hamilton has always harbored a desire to drive for Ferrari. He even mentioned it to Vasseur.
He did.
Years ago when he was racing in the junior category.
Very back to.
Like, it's been a long-held ambition.
It has.
So it sounds like this move is a dream come true for both sides.
It does.
The stars aligned perfectly.
Yeah.
Hamilton's Mercedes contract was up.
Right.
Ferrari had an open seat.
Yep.
And they both had a shared vision. Exactly. The timing was impeccable.
It was.
But now the real work begins. Hamilton will be spending a lot of time at Maranello.
Right.
Getting to know the team. Familiarizing himself with the car.
Yeah.
And putting in the hours on the simulator.
I've heard he's not the biggest fan of simulator work.
No.
Yeah.
He said he prefers being out on the track.
Yeah.
But he understands its importance,
right,
especially in a new environment.
For sure.
He's a consummate professional, and he'll be doing everything he can to be ready for his debut in red at the Australian Grand Prix in 2025.
It's going to be an epic moment.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves,
okay,
let's take a closer look at the challenges that Hamilton might face as he integrates into this, iconic team.
Okay.
What are some of the things that could trip him up?
Well, joining Ferrari comes with its own unique set of pressures and expectations.
Make sure you subscribe to the F1 Blog's YouTube channel to catch part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll be talking about those challenges, the pressure from the Tifosi, and what this move means for Hamilton's legacy.
The pressure at Ferrari is something else,
It's different.
It's not just about winning. It's about winning with a certain flair.
Right.
A certain panache.
Yeah.
The Tifosis are so incredibly passionate, and they expect their drivers to embody the spirit of Ferrari.
Almost like being part of a royal family.
Exactly.
Like you're carrying this weight of history and expectation on your shoulders.
On your shoulders, exactly.
That can be crushing,
It can.
For some drivers, we've seen it in the past.
Oh, we've seen it time and time again.
Talented drivers who just couldn't handle that pressure cooker environment.
Exactly.
At Ferrari.
Yep.
So how do you think Hamilton will cope?
Well,
he's obviously used to pressure.
He is.
Being a 7-time world champion, but this is different.
It is different. It's a different beast altogether. And I think, he's proven time and again that he thrives under pressure.
He does.
But the pressure at Ferrari is unique.
Right.
It comes from all sides.
Yeah. From
the media, the fans, even within the team itself.
Especially with LeClerc as his teammate.
Yeah.
I mean, that internal rivalry could be intense.
LeClerc is fiercely competitive and desperate to prove himself as the #1 at Ferrari.
Yeah.
He's not going to back down from a challenge.
No.
Even if it's from someone like Hamilton.
So are we going to see a repeat of the Hamilton-Rosberg rivalry?
Oh, man, I hope not.
I mean, those years at Mercedes were explosive.
They were brutal.
To say the least.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Vasseur seems determined to foster a more harmonious environment.
He does.
And both Hamilton and LeClerc are more mature now than they were back then.
For sure.
But let's be realistic.
Okay.
Sparks are going to fly at some point.
Oh, they definitely will.
Especially if they're both in contention for the championship.
Especially then.
That's when things could get really, really interesting.
It's going to be fascinating.
It is. But beyond the driver dynamics, what about the car itself?
Right.
Can Ferrari actually build a championship-winning car?
That is the big question, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, they showed glimpses of brilliance in 2023 with that race win.
They did.
But consistency has been their Achilles heel in recent years.
Yeah, it has.
They need to deliver a car that's fast and reliable from the first race to the last.
You're right. And a car that suits Hamilton's driving style.
Exactly.
We've talked about how he likes that sharp turn-in.
Yeah.
But Ferrari has traditionally favored a more stable car.
Right.
So can they adapt their design philosophy to accommodate him?
That's going to be a key factor.
Yeah.
They can't afford to compromise the car for either driver.
Right.
But they also need to find a setup that allows both Hamilton and Leclerc to extract the maximum performance.
It's a delicate balancing act.
Very much so.
It's almost like they're trying to solve this complex engineering puzzle with two very different pieces.
And let's not forget,
Right.
they'll be doing this while under the watchful eye of the entire world.
Yeah, the pressure on the engineers and designers at Maranello is immense.
It is huge.
It's a high-stakes game.
It is.
But that's what makes Formula One so compelling. You know,
It is.
it's not just about the drivers. It's about the teams, the technology, the strategy,
Yeah.
everything coming together perfectly.
And when it does come together, you know,
Yeah.
when you see a driver and a team operating at their peak,
It's special.
it's truly a sight to behold.
Speaking of sights to behold, how do you think Hamilton's move to Ferrari will impact his legacy?
Ooh, this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already cemented his place as one of the greatest drivers of all time.
Right.
But winning a championship with Ferrari would elevate him to legendary status.
He would join an elite club.
He would.
Schumacher, Fangio, Prost, Lauda.
The greats.
They all achieved greatness with Ferrari.
Yeah, it's the ultimate validation for a Formula One driver.
Is
To conquer the prancing horse, to tame that fiery Italian spirit.
Yeah.
It's a feat that few have accomplished.
And let's not forget, he would be the first driver to win a championship with 3 different teams.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
That would be a remarkable achievement.
It really would.
It would demonstrate an incredible ability to adapt, to learn to push himself beyond his comfort zone.
Beyond his limit.
But it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not.
He's facing an uphill battle, not just against LeClerc and the other top drivers, but against the weight of history, the pressure of expectation, and the ghosts of Ferrari legends past.
The ghosts of Ferrari legends past.
That's a good one.
I like that.
It's a challenge that would daunt even the most seasoned driver.
Yeah.
But if anyone can do it, if anyone can rise to the occasion and write his name into the Ferrari legend,
It's Lewis Hamilton.
it's Lewis Hamilton. And we'll be right here on the F1 Blogs YouTube channel documenting every step of the journey.
Yeah.
So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single moment
Yes.
of this historic partnership as it unfolds.
It's almost poetic, you know. Hamilton joining Ferrari at this moment.
Yeah,
It feels like a changing of the guard in Formula One.
I see what you mean.
Like we've had this period of Mercedes dominance,
Right.
and now that's ending,
Yeah,
potentially paving the way for a new era, Ferrari Renaissance.
it really does feel that way.
And Hamilton is right at the center of it all.
He is.
He's been such a defining figure in the sport for so long, it's almost hard to imagine him in anything other than silver.
It is.
But seeing him in red,
Yeah.
it's going to be a whole new chapter, not just for him, but for Ferrari as well.
For everyone.
For the sport.
Absolutely.
It's like a passing of the torch in a way.
It is.
And for Ferrari fans, it have to feel like a dream come true.
I bet.
They've been waiting for this, waiting for their team to be back on top, challenging for championships year after year. It's been a while.
It has. They had that taste of victory in 2023.
Yeah.
But can they build on that momentum?
Yeah.
Can they create a dynasty like they had with Schumacher?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
And there are so many factors involved.
Right.
Can they consistently produce a car that's capable of winning?
Yeah.
Can they handle the internal pressure, the scrutiny, the weight of expectation that comes with being Ferrari?
And can they manage the Leclerc-Hamilton dynamic?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
That could be the key to their success or their downfall.
It really could.
If those two drivers can find a way to work together to push each other to be better, then Ferrari could be unstoppable.
Absolutely.
But if their rivalry turns toxic,
Yeah.
it could derail the whole project.
It's a high wire act for sure.
It is. But that's what makes Formula One so captivating, right?
It is.
It's the perfect blend of human drama and technological prowess,
Yeah.
all playing out at 200 miles per hour.
And in 2025 with Hamilton and Red,
Yeah,
that drama is going to be amplified tenfold.
it is. We're going to see rivalries reignited,
Yeah.
new chapters written, and maybe, just maybe, a legend reborn.
It's going to be epic.
It's going to be a season for the history books. And we here at F1 Blogs can't wait to break it all down for you.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of our deep dives into the world of Formula One.
This is just the beginning.
It is.
The Hamilton-Ferrari era is about to dawn,
It is.
and it promises to be one for the ages.
We can't wait.